Right now I'm going to show you how to sew a straight stitch, how to set the machine to a straight stitch, and then how to go backwards. Going backwards when you are stitching will create the secured knot so it doesn't come undone. So when we look at our machine, we have a selector button or wheel, and we have a length wheel. A straight stitch is always looking at the green needle that is in the center of the oval. It looks very similar to this one, the green oval, but the needle is all the way to the left. That is not a straight stitch. That is a very small zigzag. So you want to make sure that your selector is the green oval with the needle directly in the center. Our length then, it goes from 1 to 4. And our little dial that tells us where the length is right here at 12 o'clock. You want your length to be in between a 2 and a 3, and that will give you about 10 to 12 stitches in an inch, which is an appropriate strength for any seam. If we go bigger, that makes a longer stitch. So you're looking at 6 stitches in an inch, which makes it weaker. If you go smaller, that's like 1,000,000 stitches in an inch, and you would never be able to rip it out. Okay, that's very teeny tiny. I'm exaggerating, but it's very teeny tiny. If you go to the red square, it's gonna set it in reverse. So that's a no-no. So again, a straight stitch is the green oval with the needle in the center and 2.5 length. All right, here we go. Thank you very much. We are ready to sew our straight stitch. Our machine is set at a straight stitch at a 2.5 length, and our machine is threaded with the bobbin. We're going to work with the presser foot. When you press the presser foot down, it presses on our feed dogs. The feed dogs move when you use your foot pedal, and it will glide the fabric right through. So we will place our fabric folded in half, double thickness, underneath our presser foot and press the presser foot down. Next, we will take our hand wheel towards ourselves. I'm going to move it towards myself until the needle is placed in the fabric. And then simply, light fingertips, press my foot on the foot pedal and go down. Now, whenever I start a seam, I go like 3 or 4 stitches, and then I hit the reverse button. The reverse button is right here on your machine. It is labeled reverse, and you need to press it down as you sew. Reversing it backwards over top your original stitch will knot the seam. So I press it down, it will go back 4 stitches, and now we have a secured seam. And then we simply just stitch all the way down, and before we stitch off the fabric, we need to reverse it again. Watch this. And then we go all the way through. Now, you might wonder, what do we do now? We're done. We sewed off the fabric. What you want to do is lift your presser foot up, and then make sure that your arm is all the way at the top of your machine. This will release your thread. You can pull it out, and then you cut it over to the side. You want to leave enough tail so it doesn't unthread. And that's simply how you do a straight stitch.